China's Mars orbiter Tianwen-1 has snapped a series of selfies taken by a small camera that it released into orbit. 4 new images have been released by the China National Space Administration (CNSA), showing Tianwen-1 encircling the red planet to mark the new year. One shows a full view of Tianwen-1 in space with the red planet's north pole in the background, while another shows an impressive close-up of its reflective gold body and solar antenna wing. To capture the images, Tianwen-1 jettisoned one of its small cameras, which beamed back its snaps via Wi-Fi. Another image shows an amazing close-up of ice caps on the Martian North Pole, complete with a distinctive pattern of snowy swirls. A handout photo released by the China National Space Administration (CNSA) on January 1, 2022, taken by the Tianwen-1 Mars mission, shows the orbiter flying around the red planet in an orbit. The CNSA published 4 pictures taken by its Tianwen-1 Mars mission, including the first full photo of the mission orbiter. The orbiter's full picture was taken by a camera released by the craft, which is now about 217 million miles, 350 million kilometers, away from Earth, CNSA said. Another photo released by CNSA taken by a small deployable camera shows the Tianwen-1 orbiter flying around the red planet in an orbit. The first image, the first full photo of the mission orbiter, shows the golden orbiter body and a silver object directly underneath it. This silver object is the directional antenna for high-speed data communication with Earth. The second photo shows a partial close-up of the orbiter, while the third image gives the best view of the planet's ice swirls. Ice is found on Mars at the polar caps and below the surface in other locations on the planet, but unlike the ice at the 2 poles of the Earth, the ice of Mars is composed of dry ice, solid carbon dioxide, and water ice. The CNSA's 4th new image shows the Martian landscape, as captured by Zhurong, the mission's rover. Ice cover on Mars' North Pole. Ice is found on Mars at the polar caps and below the surface in other locations on the planet. This 4th image shows the Martian landscape taken by the rover Zhurong. After over 3 months of preparations, a landing capsule released by the probe descended through the Martian atmosphere in an extremely challenging landing process and finally touched down on the red planet in May 2021. Tianwen-1, a Mars probe and rover from China. Tianwen-1 is one of the most ambitious missions by the Chinese space agency so far undertaken. The mission is in 2 stages, consisting of a probe that will map the surface, and a rover to search for life. The probe is equipped with a range of cameras to map the surface and find a safe landing spot. The unnamed rover weighs 240 kilograms, has 6 wheels, 4 solar panels, and can move at 200 meters per hour. It includes a number of scientific instruments, including ground-penetrating radar and a device to monitor the weather. Advertisement. The Chinese mission is named Tianwen-1, Questions to Heaven, as a nod to an ancient Chinese poem that has verses about the cosmos. Tianwen-1, which launched from Earth nearly 18 months ago, is now about 217 million miles, 350 million kilometers, away from Earth, CNSA said. China successfully launched Tianwen-1 on July 23, 2020 aboard a Long March 5 Y-4 carrier rocket from Wenchang Space Launch Center on the southern island province of Hainan, China. It traveled a total of 295 million miles, 475 million kilometers, and carried out several trajectory maneuvers before entering Martian orbit on February 10, 2021. After over 3 months of preparations, a lander released by the probe descended through the Martian atmosphere in an extremely challenging landing process and touched down on Mars on May 14, 2021, May 15 Chinese time. The feat made China the 2nd country, after the US, to have successfully conducted a Martian landing. Tianwen-1 is the name of robotic spacecraft to Mars that actually consists of 6 separate pieces of equipment: an orbiter, 2 deployable cameras, a lander, a remote camera, and the Zhurong rover. The orbiter and its deployable cameras have been encircling the planet in space, while the Zhurong rover made its descent from the lander on the planet's surface on May 22, about a week after the lander touched down. China's mission includes a Mars orbiter that will carry the lander and rover until release, a lander that will parachute down to the surface carrying the rover, and a rover that will study the planet's soil and atmosphere for signs of life. The Zhurong rover part of mission, Tianwen-1 manufacturer, China Academy of Space Technology deployed from lander, May 22, 2021 dimensions, 8 feet 6 inches x 9 feet 10 inches x 6 feet 1 inch mass, 530 pounds powered by solar panels tools, cameras and scientific instruments, including to measure climate and the chemical composition of material found on Mars' surface. Advertisement. Since its landing and deployment in May, Zhurong has steadily made a southwards journey from its landing point. Zhurong has been surveying a vast plain called Utopia Planitia for signs of water or ice that could lend clues as to whether Mars ever sustained life. The plain is the largest impact basin in the solar system, with an estimated diameter of 2,050 miles and home to large volumes of underground ice. The solar panel-powered robot sports a number of cameras for imaging the Martian landscape, along with 6 scientific instruments for measuring climatic conditions, chemical compounds, magnetic fields and radar for looking underground. Tianwen-1 entered Mars orbit less than 24 hours after the United Arab Emirates' Hope probe, which entered Mars orbit at around 16:15 Greenwich Mean Time on February 9, 2021. NASA's Perseverance rover, meanwhile, touched down on the Martian crater Jezero at 20:55 Greenwich Mean Time on February 18, 2021. Hope, Tianwen-1 and Perseverance all launched within 12 days of each other in the second half of July 2020. Tianwen-1, China's Mars debut. The 5-ton Tianwen-1 includes a Mars orbiter, a lander and a solar-powered rover that will for 3 months study the planet's soil and atmosphere, take photos, chart maps and look for signs of past life. The UAE, China and the US took advantage of a period last July when Mars and Earth were favorably aligned to launch their exploratory missions to the Red Planet. China is ramping up its space efforts in other areas. It's currently building a space station called Tiangong, meaning Heavenly Palace, to rival the aging International Space Station, ISS. The ISS is backed by 5 participating space agencies: NASA, US, Roscosmos, Russia, JAXA, Japan, ESA, Europe, and CSA, Canada, but China was originally barred from participating by the US.